Picture this: Mississippi, 1942. A quiet town called Pascagoula. The war raged overseas, but on these streets another mystery crept in. A figure people would call the Phantom Barber. His weapon wasn't a gun, not even a knife. It was scissors. Yes, scissors, because he wasn't after money. He wasn't after jewelry. He was after hair. Hair cut silently in the night. That's the story. And it sounds almost too strange to be true, but let's rewind. Pascagoula, in the 1940s, was a small shipbuilding town. Families left doors unlocked. Neighbors trusted each other. Kids played in the streets until dark. It was ordinary life in extraordinary times. Then came whispers. Whispers of someone sneaking into bedrooms. Not to steal wallets, but to snip off locks of hair. The first reports came in June 1942. 2 young girls woke up. Their braids had been chopped. No one heard anything. No one saw anyone leave. The parents were horrified. But police thought it was a prank, until it happened again. This time, a man reported his wife's hair was cut while she slept, in her own bed, in her locked home. The locks were still in place, yet someone had gotten inside, and left behind clumps of hair on the pillow. The town shuddered. Who would do such a thing? Why hair? Why at night? Is this a psychological obsession? Or something darker? Newspapers grabbed the story. Headlines screamed, "Phantom Barber strikes again." People stayed up at night with lights on. Dogs were chained by the doors. Fathers kept rifles nearby. Mothers tucked their children tighter under blankets. Yet the phantom kept coming. His visits were random, always quick, always quiet, and always leaving hair behind. Police were baffled. No forced entry, no footprints, no clear suspects, just missing hair. In one case, twin sisters woke up with uneven patches. They screamed. The family called the sheriff. But by the time he arrived, the barber was long gone. Pascagoula buzzed with theories. Some said it was a prankster gone too far. Others whispered of a lunatic on the loose. A few wondered if it was connected to the war. Maybe a spy collecting samples. It sounds ridiculous, right? But in wartime, paranoia runs wild. Rumors spread like wildfire. Don't leave your windows open. Don't trust strangers. The barber could be anyone. The barbershop owner. The grocer. The neighbor who waved every morning. Suspicion poisoned the air. People cut their own hair short. Less for him to take. Parents slept lightly, ears straining for creaks. Still, the phantom slipped through. His scissors flashed in silence. Locks fell without a sound. One night he was almost caught. A girl stirred in her sleep. She thought she saw a shadow at her window. Shh. She screamed. But when her father rushed in, the shadow was gone. Only the scent of hair oil lingered. Was it real, or her imagination fueled by fear? The town didn't care. To them, the Phantom Barber was real, and he was still out there, scissors sharp, waiting for the next sleeping head. By mid-1942, Pascagoula was gripped by fear. The Phantom Barber wasn't slowing down. He was speeding up. More homes, more hair, more panic. The town felt hunted.
Ow.
Doors were locked tight, windows nailed shut. Families doubled up in one room to sleep. Guards were posted outside houses, but none of it worked. The barber always slipped through, like smoke. People started patrolling the streets. Neighbors turned into watchmen. Kids whispered scary stories by candlelight. Adults whispered them too. Police were under pressure. Find the barber or else. They questioned known troublemakers. They questioned barbers. They questioned drifters who wandered through town. But no one confessed. No evidence stuck. Everyone wanted someone to blame. The town's fear boiled over. A curfew was set. Streets went dark and empty by nightfall. It felt like a ghost town except for one ghost. With scissors, newspapers had a field day. Each headline was more sensational than the last. Phantom Barber strikes again. Town held hostage by hair snatcher. Is the barber a madman or a monster? Readers loved it. Pascagoula residents did not. They were living inside the headlines. And they were terrified. Suspicions grew. A man down the street seemed odd. Arrest him. A barber worked late hours. Arrest him too. A neighbor stared too long at kids. Arrest him as well. Police were overwhelmed. Leads poured in every hour, but the barber kept cutting. Then, the attacks escalated. It wasn't just hair anymore. One night, a couple was assaulted in their home. They were beaten with a piece of iron pipe. The woman lost consciousness. Both were hospitalized. Suddenly, the barber wasn't just a prankster. He was dangerous. Deadly, even. Panic turned into rage. People wanted blood. They demanded an arrest. Any arrest. Police focused on a man named William Dolan. He was a German-born chemist. Locals already distrusted him. He was known to have grudges. He'd quarreled with the assaulted couple. He was accused of being un-American. Perfect scapegoat material. Dolan was arrested. Police found incriminating evidence. Bundle of hair hidden near his property. It seemed damning. Dolan denied everything. He swore he wasn't the Phantom Barber. Said the evidence was planted, but fear outweighed doubt. The town wanted closure. Dolan was convicted of attempted murder. Locals sighed with relief. The barber is caught. We're safe again. But not everyone believed it. Some residents noticed strange details. The hair evidence didn't fully match the victims. Dolan had no history of sneaking into houses, and after his arrest, the hair-snipping attacks didn't stop immediately. Whispers spread again. Was Dolan innocent? Was the real barber still out there? Police shrugged. The case was closed in their eyes. But for the townsfolk, the mystery lived on. They kept their windows locked. They kept watch at night. And in their minds, scissors still gleamed in the dark. Because the Phantom Barber's shadow had never left Pascagoula. With Dolan behind bars, Pascagoula tried to breathe again. Parents let kids play outside. Windows slowly crept open at night, but a chill still lingered. Not everyone believed the Phantom Barber was gone. Too many things didn't add up. Dolan had enemies, yes, but sneaking around, clipping hair, that didn't fit his profile. Some locals said he was framed. Others thought he was guilty, but not alone. Maybe the barber had helpers, or imitators. Fear doesn't vanish overnight, especially not fear of scissors in the dark. Dolan sat in prison. He protested his innocence again and again. He filed appeals. He begged for reconsideration. The courts didn't listen. The town wanted the story finished. Dolan became the villain on paper, but in private, many doubted. Journalists dug deeper. Some claimed the police planted the hair. Others said Dolan's quarrel with the victims was blown out of proportion. His case grew murky. In time, suspicions about his conviction spread wider, even outside Pascagoula.
Meanwhile, the legend of the Phantom Barber refused to die.
Children told it as a campfire story. Teens dared each other to walk dark streets at night. Old folks warned, lock up or the barber will get you. The figure became folklore. A local boogeyman with real roots. Kind of tale small towns never forget. Decades passed. Dolan's name faded into history books. But whispers of the barber stayed alive. In the 1950s, locals still reported odd break-ins. Nothing stolen, just hair. Was it copycats? Was the original barber still around? Nobody knew. The mystery only deepened. Years later, historians revisited the case. They pored over police records, interviewed old residents. Theories multiplied. Some insisted it was Dolan, guilty as charged. Others swore he was framed during wartime paranoia. Anti-German sentiment made him an easy target. The truth seemed tangled, like hair in a brush, and impossible to untangle. By the 1980s, the Phantom Barber had become pure legend. The story popped up in books of American mysteries. It showed up in ghost tours. Tour guides whispered the barber might still be walking these streets. Tourists shivered and leaned closer. Every town loves its legends. Pascagoula had one of the strangest. A criminal who never robbed. A trespasser who left locks lighter, not heavier. A phantom with scissors. Dolan never fully escaped suspicion. Even after prison, some still believed he was guilty. He lived under the shadow of the barber until his death. His name was never cleared. His protests were never proven. And the true identity of the Phantom Barber was never revealed. Today, historians call it one of the strangest crime sprees in U.S. history. It wasn't murder. It wasn't theft. It was hair. But the fear it caused was immense. Whole neighborhoods were paralyzed. Families lived in terror for months. all because of one silent intruder. That's the power of mystery. It haunts more than violence. It makes people imagine monsters. It lingers in the mind long after. The Phantom Barber's story proves it. A few locks of stolen hair grew into a legend, and that legend still grows today. Every Halloween, the tale resurfaces. Articles pop up online. Podcasts retell it with eerie music. Paranormal shows call him America's strangest prowler. True crime fans debate whether he was real. Some say it was mass hysteria. Others swear the barber was flesh and blood. Either way, Pascagoula remembers. The town holds the memory tight. A weird, scary summer in the 1940s, when the Phantom Barber crept in the night and left behind a story no one could forget. A story that proves history's strangest mysteries don't always come with answers. Sometimes they come with scissors.
That's it for today's Forgotten Tale. If this story made you raise an eyebrow don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that dusty little bell so you never miss another echo from the past. Drop it in the comments. We're always listening for new echoes. Got a weird bit of history you think we should cover? Until next time, keep your curiosity loud and your history weird.